Greetings everyone, and great here with another... Both of the lures going off at the same time just made me blank out for a moment. Spawn on bottom right side is the blue Poseidon. We got Pong-Lenis. Spawn on top left side is the red Poseidon. We got JavoobxD. Of course, it is a Poseidon mirror. He deployed out the lure next to the hippopotami, while blue or red decides to deploy next to the gazelle. Hippopotamuses should provide more food collection, right? They're also a bit more dangerous since it takes longer to kill off. They do provide 1 food per second, as opposed to gazelles, which also provide 1 food per second. So there's no difference in this game between dangerous hunts and not dangerous hunts. In other Age of Empires games, dangerous hunts such as boar or do provide extra food income as opposed to the non-dangerous hunts such as deer. And do now have Hermes now being deployed on the field by red, which will give max the Centaur and the ceasefire. And blue has not started aging up just yet. Going for the temple now. The age up does cost... I can't highlight it. It's like 500 food or 400 food. I always forget exact amounts. 400. So that's a pretty late start there by blue. A bit of an oversight there. Now blue-red does have a Centaur pushing way forward. And a Thesis won't be really useful to counter him. Okay, the counter it, just not great. Since he starts out like with most military units in this age with like 0.5 damage, not even full damage per strike. You now have Thesis coming around. Villager's getting hit pretty badly there. He does have 1.6, does have the times 12 multiplier as well, so he's okay. In this case, it's more the lack of damage Centaurs do to him is the better part. But red does secure a nice little villager kill. Wait, the overlay disappeared again. They'll switch between players breaks this? I think switching between players breaks this. That's what's causing this patch. Oh boy. Bad damage there onto the... Or maybe it was shrinking this. I need to test that out. More arrows firing away, getting some damage. Jason or Thesis taking some fire there. Hippus trying to take him out. Blue has aged up, so Jason or Thesis does have decent damage. Blue's taking out, losing some villagers now. And the Centaur does finish on the Centaur. Thesis does go down. Centaur pursuing the Hippus. Hippus and Centaur move the same movement speed. So they won't be able to catch up to each other. And I don't think combat sprints exist in this game. Blue is trying to go for another town center here. Has an idle villager. That's a bit of a mistake. I don't think red will see this. Yeah, my apologies for the overlay up here going away. Appears that there's something in this patch that's causing bugs to the replay viewer. And I haven't been able to isolate it down. I got it mostly isolated. Oh, looks like one of the players did pause for a moment. So I did take a bit of damage there. Villager pushing her way forward. Got another Thesis here. He's ready to write his thesis. Bit of a health regen coming along with these guys here now. One centaur right here. Does fire the arrow volley there. Getting a little bit of splash damage. May need to get the watchtower at the current rate, help protect himself and provide some attrition damage to these hippos. Taking an opportunity to take out the villagers. Finds, though I think the wounded one did manage to get inside the town, the watchtower, but the other ones did not manage to escape in there. Let's see. This is the blue player. The blue player does have 29 civilians on the field, make that 30. The other one does have 26, only has 1 town center, so blue will start gaining more and more advantage there. Blue does not have many military units on the field at the moment. Villagers will be hit once again. Hippos getting a lot of good swipes there. Good harassment there by red. 28. 31. So he's doing a good job calling out the numbers. We got some rhinoceros being claimed. They're quite delicious, I'm assuming. I don't know how rhinoceros ever tastes in real life, but I'm more than willing to try, along with giraffe and elephant.
Prostagma.
And looks like someone picked up a relic there. Looks like blue picked up a relic to make his villagers collect gold faster. Pegasus taking some fire there from the heroes. Red is going for the spirited charge. The spirited charge. Blah, can't speak right now. Got a little welt in on my lip. We got some pop lights here to help engage these cavalry units. Of course, you can't get Prodromos into age 3, the counter units. Also, I think the counter units should be available sooner rather than later, since counter units should be, well, counter units. They need to be accessible in order to counter the counter units. Or the units that are supposed to counter. Hippos now falling back there. It's also not like they start out like as medium. They do start out as regular Hippos, so they start the skill upgrades as well. Good damage on the Hippos there. Just to fall back a little bit there. Red does have still a decent Hippos force, and we've got some villagers push way forward, trying to eat the delicious elephants. Also perhaps eat the crocodiles as well. But the elephants sort of scattered pretty far away, but of course these guys are dangerous hunts, so they will be aggroed. That one lady did find the tusks. Blue still has 2 town centers versus just 1. So right now we do have 47 population versus 38. And I think the lure just went down. Going for a granary here. Oh, there's the lure. I heard something got deleted. I'm not sure what it was. Granted, this is not the original Age of Mythology, where the lure automatically decays over time. Or just dies. Some of these villagers are going down. A good number of those villagers are going down, honestly. They're standing fighting. They only have 55 health. As of course can't get that research yet to make them a bit more healthy. More hoplites push way forward. Oh, and looks like Red Centaur went down to Thesis. Right now, Blue has 44 civilians, Red has 42, so Red's doing a good job of calling his opponent's civilian numbers, that's for sure. But now Blue is able to get some swipes against these villagers. Alpines push away forward, villagers backing on off. And Blue's actually heading up there. We'll find some not captured pigs. They're pretty well fattened as well. Have those piggies wee all the way back to the new home. Hippus now engaging Blue's villagers once again, gets some good hits here. That's just a Pegasus in the mini-map. Did take out a couple more villagers there. One more villager drew the short straw. The music doesn't change now when you switch between players. That's nice. And this last patch, while bugged out a lot of things in replay system, I now realize as well that the audio's been largely fixed. Yeah, it's one bug or another. Got the militiaman here. The militiaman is somewhat anti-cavalry, 50% additional damage versus cavalry. I call this one militiaman versus 5 Hippus. Never great odds. He's no hero because he's not glowing. That's how you can tell he's no hero. And now this watchtower will go down. Only has one village inside of it at the moment, and 3 militiamen do pop out, while one of them did get rallied. But the militia actually being pretty useful there. Blue's now pushing forward as well, so I missed some of the conflict. Looks like Red has aged up. He hailed Hydra versus Blue going for Aphrodite, so got a bit of a difference here. Blue could use ceasefire to help disengage. 1 elephant still remains, so he's 1.5 elephants. And Theseus could stay behind and engage. I mean, heroes are very good against myth units. Theseus does have times 12 multiplier versus myth units. Hydra is getting multiple heads there, and that's how you get head. Rhinoceros right there being devoured as well. Red's going to try another swing at the giraffes. Another Atlantia floating field, the fast hero. Which should be decent versus the Centaur. Centaur still outspeed her. Does get some swipes there. Maybe go ahead and just focus on the Hydra. The Hydra can't escape. He's just pushing me forward as well. Hydra taking some pretty good damage there. May see a good volley there on the hoplites. Hydra does go down. Theseus does go down there. Red Zelantia is still doing quite well. Blue Zelantia takes out the Hippus there, so she won't be going down just yet. And Red Zelantia does go down. Now we do have a good number of Hypasus and Hippus on the build queue, and 3 Centaur. Maybe a little bit bad overqueue there. And Red is also queued up Hippatus to give access to Colossus and to the Plentyvolt. Blue's Nemean line is right here, and plus Blue still has access to Curse, which can help lock down an assault. Or maybe a heavy raid. Turn them to all delicious piggies. I pass this here in decent numbers. Nemean line does roar. And there is Curse there by Red. And we got the Centaur pole mark upgrade as well. These piggies need to wee all the way there to their new home. My stomach. Could just go ahead and task them back here, keep them nice and safe. Or wherever the villagers could immediately eat them. But you can always be a little bit greedy and let them fatten up and eat the delicious elephant. Right now is almost cleaned up these crowned cranes. Has cleaned up the crowned cranes. And we do have some Peltas as well as Toxays being queued on up, going for some economic upgrades, of course. I don't think Red, even though he has the God selected, I don't think he has deployed out a fortress in order to meet the technological requirements for him. I do have a military academy and stable being built there. Nemean Lion here. One of those centaurs are pretty wounded, the other one is still severely wounded. And he is taking out some of those backline units there. He does not have medium nor heavy range units. And there's ceasefire deployed by Blue. Looks like the arrows that still fall down still do damage since it's already cast ability. That's good to know. But Blue will get his fortress up and going, provide some good defensive capability. Medium high past this, so he does it, but still does not have heavy infantry, does not have even medium ranged. I don't think I've seen Blue deploy out stable yet this entire game either. Ceasefire has subsided. Red still has access to his ceasefire. Red's now going for his heavy infantry. And is that heavy cavalry? Yes. Blue's heavy infantry being researched as well as medium range soldiers. Granary now receiving some damage. In real life, if a granary catches on fire, it could actually explode. Sugar is a component you can refine into high explosives. So, yep. And a lot of foods, of course, are, especially when it gets inside the silo where it gets a bit more powderized and sort of hangs the air, that becomes a thermobaric bomb. Blue is currently aging up before Red, going for Artemis, give access to Chimera and to the Earthquake. I heard another township build out by Red. Red has now put up bronze, which is going to be very helpful, and Red is the one who has ceasefire remaining, not Blue. So Blue can't counter the bronze with ceasefire. Fortress now under siege. Lupalia does stay alive for now. Of course, this is Poseidon Mirror, which means militiamen are going to be deployed in out as plenty. Helps slow down your opponent's advance. Got copper research now on the way for Blue as well. Earthquake can now be brought on in, which looks like this Hippus is going to come in and scout out for a Earthquake. And also destroying all the housing wouldn't be half bad. It will stop Red's advance, at least its reinforcements. Earthquake has been summoned, will not be striking many housing. But there will be a decent amount of militia now pulled out by for Red. Chimera does breathe some fire there. Medium high passes firing away, or Peltas. High passes does close onto the Peltas. Atlantia pursuing the pole mark. And those units will be cleaned on up there. There should be a decent amount of militia on the field. Looks like approximately 20. That'll give red some breathing room. Right now, red just needs more food in order to deploy out his next age up. Right now, blue does have 92 villagers, red has 83. Champion infantry now being researched by blue, and I think it just saw him cancel heavy range. Or maybe it got completed. Oh, so did it actually get completed? Does have poison attacks with these guys here. Artemis gives plague, shafts of plague.
Λέγε.
Red's a little bit idle at the moment, not really deploying out too much, other than some good amount of cavalry. Both those units do go down. Militiaman pushes way forward. And there's actually quadruple Chimera here. That guy is immolated. We do now have the Golden Apple cause increasing war quick villagers by 20% of the temple. And there's a decent amount of militiamen there. Militiamen, of course, are not affected by heavy upgrades. Oh, they are affected by heavy infantry. Huh. I did not know that. Probably should get the guys that don't have any visual indication there. And these militiamen immediately get immolated by the Chimera. Red's not aging up just yet, going for some levy. And blue's army is getting a little bit split up there. It could get pretty stacked up for the Chimera. Looks like some of the Chimera are actually being picked off there. Got some sentry towers going up. Chimeras do throw the flame burst there, immolating quite a bit of region, and the high pass is getting some good poison damage on in. Polyphemus gets a pretty good knockback there. Red's now aging up. His god power would be the Plentyvolt. High pass or Hippus push way forward, trying to take out the siege weapons. Very nice. And red as well, ceasefire there to give him some breathing room. Not a bad idea. Blue's going to try to pull out some proxy sentry towers. You best use sentry busters to take them out. Ceasefire will last for another 10 seconds. Red is still aging up. Good amount of damage there. Towns that are under fire from the Petrobolos. One does go down there. Red does have a decent amount of toxic phase, but now got a good number of siege towers pushed forward. High passes in the region as well. town center does get destroyed. Red does have max out villagers, so it's primarily needed for the population space. Red does have plenty of population space at the moment, and we've got the militiamen pushing forward, handful more central towers pushing forward. And the more structures destroyed, the more militiamen are going to charge forward and take out these Heliopoli, but Red does back the game now. This is Great saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.